early for you, make it 12, and then have somebody drive you over to your place. It is healthier. You will give me reasons saying that they will come to know culture, different culture. They can, like I said before, they can have questions about how prayers are. The whole day if they're in that house, they will know how that family works and the culture is. They don't need to sleep over to know that. Go ahead.
Well, what I would say is that if your children or any children, you said as they are curious, okay, and you said they want to do different things or they want to go on a website or anything like that,
they can go anytime.
If they want to do it at night time, they can do it at any time.
Yeah, definitely.
They can do it during the day. These days those things are available on our iPhones. They can, everybody has iPhones, 3G, 4G these days, and they can anytime they want.
But they have parental control there.
Those websites on a 3G, 4G, not necessarily.
Wow.
You can just go and take a look at any websites if they want to. So those things were, yes, if you say 10 years ago, I would have said yes. 10 years ago, parents had more control over how what children can watch and what children cannot watch, and they had a more parental control. But in these days, I don't think parents have control. If children want to do something wrong, trust me, they can find the time and the ways to do things wrong.
But then
you have to have a trust on your children. You have to believe in them. You have to let them be free. You have to let them be themselves, and then learn things on their own. Sometimes at certain age you have to and I am not talking about all ages here. I'm talking about different ages. Since listen, I have children who have already gone through the middle school age and a high school age. Okay, so I have experienced that. This thing is, I'm talking about with experience, is that like when both of my children were in an elementary stage, okay, and did I send them for the sleepovers? Yes, I did. There was a list of things that they need to do. This is what they eat. This is what they're allergic to. This is what they don't like, and their usual sleeping time, and getting up in the morning, what they like to have for breakfast and stuff. Just in case there's a medication, I would send them with the medication, and I would also include my telephone number, emergency phone, with that. In any case, just call me immediately, and I will keep that phone handy while they were out. This was a precautionary measures that I took when they were in the middle school. As you said, they are curious, they are like that. You have to educate your children ahead of time. You have to warn them ahead of time in the circumstances that they could be in, and how to avoid those situations, and how to be smart, and how to be more alert. What I mean by alert is like, there are different type of people out there. But you
trust your children, but we don't know much about.
The trust will come with the time. Trust does not just come immediately one time and say, okay, from today on, I'm going to trust you.
They have to build the trust.
It grows with the age, it grows with the build. In the beginning, you cannot trust them. You trust the guardians, or trust the other parent who are taking them into. It's pretty much their responsibility more than yours. Okay, and once they're growing up in adolescent age, that time you have to give them a little bit of trust. Like, tell them, okay, at this time and this time, give me a call. And when I call, just pick up the call and talk to me. And you do call the house, in the house where you drop the children, and talk to the parent. When you're dropping them, you talk to the parents, okay, this is what my child is like, and this is what they don't like. And you just make sure that you feel comfortable with them. And if you don't feel comfortable, well, then you have to explain it to the child. Well, you know what, not at this particular time, but maybe some other time I will let you stay. Then, because you're more smarter than they are, so you make the decision to leave your children over there or not, because you have to know the family. That's another thing. And the third point is, when you're leaving your children with them, you have to constantly, these days all the kids pretty much after the age of 10, they have telephones. the cell phones with them. So you can call them, hey, give me a call before going to bed, going to sleep. So you receive their call and then make sure that everything looks okay. You keep talking to them, and then then you have to say nicely, give me a good morning call when you wake up. So they call you in the morning. So if they are showing the responsibility, that's how you have to grow them. And when they are into a little bit of older age, like suppose 18 and older, like my kids are like already gone past that age. So at that time, you pretty much cannot say no or yes or anything.
Why not?
To them, because they already know it. They already know what to do. They already know how to behave. They already know what not to do. And they are in much more control than you are, because you cannot supervise them 24/7. When they go to school, they have lunch passes at school that they can go out from the school and eat, and they have to come back. They cross the street all the time. They go in because some of their kids, they have not kids, their friends have cars and they drive, and then you have to trust them to go and drive with them. Sometimes your children at that age, at that point, your children also have their driving license and they are demanding the
I will
cars.
tell you, Sangeeta, I'll give you an example after we come
take a
back.
break.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, these are my concerns that you have to train them from the beginning. So at that age, you don't have to train them anymore. They already know what to do. So well, on that note, let's take a little short break.
Welcome back. I would say there are a lot of parents who would like to hold on to a lot of traditional values. A lot of parents out there will say that if my child wants to do something, he will find a way to do it. Okay, we will all say that if you want to do something, if a child wants to go out of his way and wants to do something, he will find a way to do it. They're very smart these days. Why give them that chance? Why? Having a sleepover, sometimes if it's a 14 above kid, they will sneak out the car. Anything can happen. They will just push the car from the garage and drive, and in the night they'll go around places. I don't know, they might just go to HEB, or they can just go and have a cup of coffee. But can I trust a child who's so young, who's even afraid to tell their parents that I'm going to take the car? It's not showing responsibility. It's not that if you have somebody sleepover, that this is going to happen. But these are the things that might happen. To me, holding on to a few traditional values that we have, it's very good. And I think it prevents a lot of us from making mistakes. Okay, mistakes we can make.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree with you, but not all the families are here with the traditional values, and we like to keep them. But the children who are born here, they not necessarily go along with that. They are growing up in a different environment. They are getting a different kind of education out there that you and I will not agree necessarily.
I have children,
so just for them, sometimes we have to kind of get down on their level.
I have elementary, I have elementary going children, and to me, I always tell them that if they ask me, can we go over for a sleepover, to somebody's house, I said, what are you going to do? I'm going to sleep with them. In the sense that, we'll be together, we'll do Star Wars, like my son always says, or we'll be making Legos. And I always tell them that, if you go to sleep late, a lot of parents do say that if you go to sleep late, you don't feel good in the morning, or why not do everything you know, during the day or late, but be at home. I feel that there is no need for sleepover. Absolutely no need.
Well, you can say that there is no need for it, but if your children want to have a sleepover, we should say yes, or we should.
They can have.
No.
They can.
Pretty much, I would say we have to train them from the beginning. We have to train them from the childhood. Like when they come up to you and then they say they want to go to a sleepover. I mean, my children have been going for a sleepover for like what, 15, 14, 16 years now. Okay. So they're very well trained. They know how to handle themselves. I mean, for themselves, like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do and this is what we're not supposed to do. And when they can see right from the wrong, and it's just that what I'm trying to say, you have to trust your children.
Oh, I think a lot of parents do trust their children, even if they're not sleeping over. Sleeping over is not going to make a lot of parents trust their children. It's just, you know, let me put it this way. There are things that we need and there are things we want. And to me, we cannot live without water, shelter, food, and whatever, you know, you really need. Okay, to me, that is need. Being at home with your parents, I would prefer that. A lot of parents would prefer that.